Lovers quarrel. It's a long, sustained quarrel.
What's going on, world?
Hey everybody.
It's your guy, TJ, Mr. New Cool.
And it's your girl, Dani, your carefully COVIDian cougar.
You are a cougar.
Oh
you are careful. And you do have COVID. Welcome to yet another episode of Lovers Quarrel. I'm TJ. That's Dani.
Yes.
And
through my mask.
How do we... See, I don't typically intro, so...
I know. You're going to have to carry the weight because it's a lot to talk for long stretches.
Yeah, so, this episode is going to be an episode, but I don't think it's going to be our typical episode, but we're going to just fill y'all in on our emergency and why we didn't record last week, and, we're going to touch on some things, but, yes, like I said, Dani got COVID, I got COVID, and we did not record because of that, and what else happened to TJ? I had a fracture in my tooth.
Yes.
So they had to take my front tooth. Yeah. You asked my brother-in-law, I look like Leon Sphinx.
I didn't know who that was till today.
What else has happened? So yeah, we'll,
Yeah, we're just gonna...
If this is your first time listening to Lovers Quarrel, welcome. If this is your second time, welcome back. If this is your third or more time, as I like to call you, you are a lover.
And your family.
And family. So,
It's been a very interesting, stressful week and a half, almost 2 weeks.
Yeah. So,
You wanted to start from the beginning?
Are we going to get on the elevator this episode, or?
I mean, the elevator will be COVID.
I mean, yeah. We gotta spray this elevator.
Shut up.
We decided that it would be good for us just to kind of record this as best as we can with everything that's going on, because we do want to remain consistent since we came back. So yeah, so we'll start it. I was diagnosed with COVID first. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to think how it... All right, so I was around my nephew. I got it from him. And then I thought everything was cool because we went and got
rapid tests and lab tests.
Rapid test came back negative. So I'm like, cool, I'm Gucci. You know what I mean? I'm back out here.
And me, TJ, and Tatum went on her birthday.
Yep. And then we were preparing for her purple birthday party. That's her cold birthday party with her titi. And then we get a call on Friday. So my sister came. My bro was in town. My other bro, my big brother didn't come, but my sister and her boyfriend, they came early because they wanted to get their time with Tatum, all this other stuff. And previously she had COVID, and I was like, you can't come until you get a negative test. And I apologize to you, Ash, because I was misinformed, and yeah.
I tried to tell him.
Well, I learned best by going through it. So
the hard way, I know. On
Friday, we chilling. I mean, rocking. Dani gets a call, and she's like talking like worried. So I'm like, "What's up?" She was like, "You got COVID." Oh.
So now, TJ's family was all about to hit the road to come down for Tatum's birthday, and we had to call them and be like,
Don't come.
And then even though, so we all had negative tests, rapid tests, and then Tatum and I had negative lab tests.
Yeah. So yeah, backs are on that. They got their negative lab tests back like that Thursday. My shit didn't come. But in my mind, if they both were negative, I got to be negative. Nah, Friday was like, nah, you got it. Continue.
And then Friday, so now, we like, all right, we got to lock TJ in the basement and disinfect and change the sheets and stuff, because between Wednesday and Friday, we were moving as normal because we had negative rapid tests. So, but then Friday evening, I start with a little bit of a cough, and by late Friday evening, I got some body aches and stuff. And then it was just all down from there. I took Tatum and I went back to the urgent care again to get retested because they suggested that. And our rapids came back negative again, despite the fact that I started showing symptoms. But we, of course, took the lab tests, and thank goodness is that through all of this, despite that Tatum was around me and TJ for part of this time, when we didn't know, she still remained negative. But then I, of course, came back positive. And in typical Dani fashion, I had the worst symptoms, and have been down the worst out of the two of us. And then, of course, I'm almost 5 months pregnant. So, it's been, hard. Like, I've cried a few times because I felt so terrible. Between the body aches and the chills and the coughing and the gagging or mucus, and again, I'm sorry to be too gross for y'all, but it's just the reality of it. And then, Tatum, thank God for, my mom and my sister and my brother-in-law. And then even when TJ's sister and her boyfriend were here, they were helping us with her. Thank you for them. And then my mom and my sister and them took over once they left. And they've been keeping her for the last week and change. And it's just been a lot. Like, I haven't felt this bad in so long, and the fatigue, and it sucks because like I just was starting to feel better coming out the first trimester, because the first trimester was so hard. In a lot of ways, I feel like I'm back at square one. By the time this episode drops, like Monday, Tuesday the latest is when I should get my contagious quarantine walking papers, because although I don't sound the best and I'm still very tired, I've finally started to turn a corner this weekend. But last weekend and all of last week, I was just laid in the bed sick and struggling and really having a hard time, and trying to eat and stay hydrated, but you're not hungry, you're not thirsty. I'm trying to keep food down, and it's just a lot. But thank God, it could have been worse. I had a low grade fever, but the Tylenol kept it in check. I had I didn't have any shortness of breath where I had to go to the hospital. And yeah, so I mean, here we are, and this shit is no fun. This shit is still very, very real. And this is not like, TJ and I won't be out here all willy-nilly or anything like that.
Shit. I got the fucking vid. I'm out here now. I am for the streets.
Oh my God.
I am for the streets with my mask on.
I'm still gotta be...
Yeah, you got a life that you gotta
nigga,
continue baking on.
You got a life. You got...
I got antibodies and...
half a vaccine.
Yes. So I also went and got vaccinated yesterday, Saturday. I got Pfizer, and the only side effect I had is that my arms now hurts the day after. But other than that, yeah, I wasn't playing with this shit. But listen, you know what I mean? Like Dani said, we tried everything to not get it, and we still wound up getting it. And I'm just glad it was as mild as it was. I didn't go to my family's vacation for Christmas because I was afraid of catching it, and then I still wound up getting it. So, some of my friends was like, you can't live your life on pause and all this other stuff, but it's like, you gotta try to do what's best for you, and everybody's situation is different, but it's a real thing. And for me, I had some of the symptoms, but I wasn't sure if it was because of the tooth fracture or if it was because of what's in it. The only thing that was like evident was the dry cough, and I couldn't understand why I had it. But when I had it, I thought, damn, I might have COVID. And when my mother heard it, she was like, she thought the same thing, but she didn't want to say it. But yeah, we had it, and it's not fun. I wouldn't wish it on anybody. It's a very serious virus that's out here, and that's why they say mask up and to wear your gloves. And
I'm sorry.
You're good, and make sure that you're washing your hands and using hand sanitizer, and just take precautions. So again, I wouldn't wish it on anybody, because again, even though I didn't have super symptoms, the light headache and the body ache was very weird. But Dani can speak more to it because she went through the ringer.
Yeah, this shit is just so whack, and being pregnant on top of it has me like really, it's hard not to be stressed or worried sometimes about, like, is the baby okay? Am I giving the baby enough nutrients? Because I've lost like 10 pounds in like a week and change, and just having no appetite, and and then even still, like,
sorry,
there wouldn't be an episode if TJ couldn't. You talk about I can't pay attention, and so it's just trying, every time you breathe and you have to cough, or you try to blow your nose, and I already have like post-nasal drip, so it's just really uncomfortable and really worrisome, and the fatigue is just out of this world, and I always kind of knew that if I ever did get sick with COVID, that I would have like be the worst of whoever in my circle that had it. But just being pregnant is just a lot of additional stress, because I'm worried about myself, but I'm obviously worried about the baby, and I'm doing everything I can to stay hydrated and stuff. But it's also really hard when all you want to do is sleep for so long. But
did you get some good sleep though? Sometimes
I did, yeah. But then sometimes, I wake up in the middle of the night and be sweaty, and just, and then, I can understand, like, I had TJ, and TJ has been taking care of me, and our family has been checking on us and stuff like that. But I could, even still with him in the basement and me in our bedroom, it still sometimes felt like really lonely.
I can agree with that. I mean, it's very weird to be in your house, but not being able to be around anybody. It's because I was isolated first. Like, it was very weird. Everybody's upstairs. I can hear them. I made a TikTok that was short-lived. And I just made fun. Like, I would go inside my home gym, do some push-ups, or I would go to the stairs and like knock on the door and talk to the door. It's very funny, but it's also weird because, we have a 4-year-old. So Tatum's like, why can't I hug my parents? At least, why couldn't she hug me? And now her mother is sick. So now, it's funny, but it's sad because it's just, she's in a in-between stage. She wants to be around her parents and she can't. But the funny part is, like, when she like calls us a FaceTime us, she's like, I know, I can't touch you. I know, I can't be around you because you're sick. And it's just like, who are you, little 4-year-old? But, being quarantined by yourself, for me, I kind of looked at the positives. I'm like, I'm in the basement by myself, but I'm like, thank God that we are in this house where my basement is like humongous. So I have all this space, and I'm not, I was still able to go outside and, shout out to my brother-in-law. He was like, yo, come out on the deck and put your mask on. And, you know what I mean? Like, just because you have it doesn't mean we can't be around you. So, you know, having COVID, you look at it differently. You understand it more. So when I apologized to my sister earlier, you know, once you get COVID, they say that it lasts in your body for 90 days. So even though you aren't shedding anymore, if you get a test, it may still come out as positive. So your body's going to say that the test will say that you have it, but you're not contagious. So, you know, I didn't know that, but I would implore everybody to like do your own research and, you know, get vaccinated. So that way, if you do catch it, it will protect you from death or hospital visits. But it's a very serious virus that we know nothing about. And, you know, it's like I said, I wouldn't wish it on anybody. So,
yeah, it's a lot of, and it's so much misinformation that keeps floating around and stuff. And I fully understand people wanting to resume life and everything else like that, but it's like you gotta be mindful because, you know, we don't, like, it's just a lot, and it's just like, even if you had it and you had a mild version or you were asymptomatic, which is a blessing, it doesn't mean that you're around somebody who then can really, you know, suffer and struggle. And I can't even put into words like how tired I am. We've had to pause recording this short bit of this episode twice already, just because I have to keep coughing or I have to go be sick. And, you know, even though I'm coming up on no longer being contagious, like, I don't know how long I'm going to still feel this way. And that's the part that sometimes is scary for me. But, you know, I'm super, super grateful for TJ because he's been taking care of me and, you know, and helping me. I'm super thankful for our families because they've been taking care of us and Tatum and helping us. I felt more at ease because the people that were around us, quote unquote, like not in our faces, but just helping with Tatum and stuff, like everybody's either had COVID and or been vaccinated. So that was a bit of a relief in that we knew that there was a lesser likelihood that we could further infect anyone else. Like our COVID spread, our chain of events that led me and TJ to getting sick will have stopped with me and TJ. Like, you know, because I think that that's the other thing too. Like, there's a level of fear that comes along with, or that should come along with passing it on to somebody else. Like, I just keep thinking about how could I look myself in the mirror if I knew that I, like, went to Target or went and got my nails done or did anything and I knew I was still in my contagious window or I still wasn't feeling well. And, like, I personally wouldn't be able to, like, sit with myself if I knew I was out here and I was still not feeling well. And so, you know, like, we're not going to lecture y'all or nothing like that because we know there's probably plenty out here. We all know somebody who has had COVID. You might have had COVID yourself. But, you know, now just speaking from our own experience of, you know, a year plus into this pandemic, and to, you know, have gotten it after everything we've done to be careful the next year to get it. You know, the irony of it all. But I wouldn't change how we've moved throughout any of this because we went COVID-free for this long because we were being responsible. And we will continue to be responsible.
Shit.
Oh, my gosh.
I've already been quarantined. So at the end of the day, if I got to quarantine again, I know what it's like. But I am going to be responsible.
I know. And I mean, shout out to having to wear a mask because now you don't have to, since you got your tooth out.
Yes. Yes.
People don't have to see.
It's so weird, like, when I FaceTime somebody and it's like, you're missing a whole tooth. Yes, I am. The fuck?
I still think you're cute.
You gotta say that. You my wife.
I don't.
And Tatum, that's the funny thing. Tatum likes that I don't have, that I have this tooth missing because she wishes that her tooth would come out because she wants the tooth fairy to come give her some money. And I'm just like, I can't wait for her to be older so I can say, you used to want your teeth to be out.
Yeah.
So. But other than that, we wanted to just make sure that we came on and we didn't know how we were going to do this episode, if we were going to try to do a regular episode or not. But I felt like it was more important for us just to kind of talk.
Touch base. Yeah.
Just let y'all know we are good. Thank you for the kind words to those who reached out and understand. This 2021 has been rough for us with COVID, the pregnancy, deaths in the family. It just hasn't been the most joyous. But even through the storm, you can see the sunshine. So we're thankful. I feel like this has made us closer.
I agree.
I built like 3 things since Dani's been out. So
it just shows that you can do it.
I always said that I can. I do not like to build shit because like all these little pieces, and if you fuck up here, then you gotta restart. I don't like that. But I had time on my hand, and I wanted to clear some things for you, and again, like I tell everybody, you are the foundation of our family. So when you're out, what I mean, things can stop, and I don't think that's fair to you or our family. So if I can pick up and take over as I should, then I will. But like I said, the COVID just shows you that it doesn't just discriminate, and we should just all be safe, but we should also still live our lives the best way we need to, and use your time off if you have it. Don't apologize for feeling the way that you feel. Again, excuse me, we've been home for a year plus. We're still expected to be our optimal selves, dealing with everything that we're dealing with. A pandemic, we're still being murdered by cops and racism and everything else, but we're still expected to be normal, and we can't be normal. So give yourself grace. That's what I'm always going to tell people. Give yourself grace. Do your best. And, you can't really worry about what other people think about you, because as long as you're doing the best that you can do and that's it. So
I agree. That's all it is. We just got to be kind to ourselves, y'all, and take care of yourselves and stay safe, because, it can still creep into your home even when you're as vigilant as possible. Even if it's the same people you've been around for the last year, anything can happen. But just take care of yourselves, take care of each other. Be kind to your bodies, be patient with yourselves. That's what I'm trying to do now.
Yeah, I had to tell Dani, because Dani boss told her, like, take time off, and Dani was like trying to do work, and I'm like, no, you need to just, like, you have COVID and you're pregnant. Just, we've been conditioned to try to work as hard as you can. But what I've learned is if you can't do it at 100%, then you can't do your job. So it makes no sense for you to try to do something half-assed if you can't do it. So, and I, again, I try to look at the positive of everything. I feel like this was God's way of saying slow down.
Yeah.
Reboot, so.
Yeah. But, that's all I really got. Thank y'all for just checking on us. We know some of y'all hit us up when we posted it. We didn't mean to make y'all worry, but I knew I couldn't, I'm struggling right now, but I really couldn't have done it last Sunday. And, just, keep us in your prayers, and we'll keep you in ours, and we'll, just keep doing what we got to do, honestly. I'm sorry, y'all. I feel like, this is going to be a rare moment where I'm kind of at a loss for words, but...
Exactly. And Dani, she got words for days, months, years, decades.
Oftentimes I do.
Centuries.
Because, yes, that's me. And I'm proud of it.
I'm proud of it, too.
I'm proud of you.
So with that, we'll close out this episode. Dani will come up with a nice name for it. I'm not even going to name it like a full episode, so it's just like an announcement.
It's a COVID-19 update.
I like that. But yeah, you'll figure that out. As always, go ahead. You know how to do it.
You guys know where to find us on Twitter at LoversQuarrel7, on Instagram at LoversQuarrelShow. Email us at loversquarrelshow@gmail.com. As always, I'm your girl Dani.
And I'm your guy TJ.
And you know that we fuss.
We fight, but we love. Bye. Say bye-bye.
Bye-bye.